The story opens in England, where we see a woman named Erin gently awaken her little daughter Harper from her sleep. She then tells Harper that they're going to a sunny place where she can have ice cream every day. After this, the two leave their inn and get into a boat for somewhere else. The scene then shifts to 5 years later in Barcelona, where Erin has settled into a life as a substitute teacher at Harper's private school. We see Harper practicing her musical rehearsal while Erin is talking with the school admin, Olivia, about how delighted she is that her daughter has finally begun to adapt at this school. Suddenly, they hear Harper's voice and witness her beating one of the children, Antonio. Erin and Olivia quickly rush to the scene and stop Harper. Unfortunately, this incident results in Harper being kicked out of the musical, so Erin decides to take her home. While on their way home, Erin asks Harper why she attacked Antonio, but Harper remains silent. Later, Harper says she needs to use the restroom, so they make a quick stop at a supermarket. Inside the restroom, Harper briefly shares what happened. It turns out Antonio had been teasing her about her need to wear glasses due to a medical condition. Erin understands that Antonio is wrong, but she teaches Harper that violence isn't the answer to her problems. As they try to leave, they suddenly notice 2 masked robbers armed with weapons inside the store. So Erin hurries Harper to the back of the store, where they see a robber aiming a gun at an employee's head. Harper hides under a display, while Erin hides herself behind a nearby shelf. While they watch the robber beating the worker, an orange falls from the display, so the robber heads toward Harper, and Erin throws a can across the floor. When the robber comes close, she slams a bottle in his face. During the fight, she stabs him in the leg with a cake tester and reaches for the gun, but he gets it before her. The two continue to fight until she eventually shoots him. Erin then removes the injured robber's mask, and the man weakly mutters, "It's you," before losing consciousness. Later at the hospital, we meet Jordy, who is Erin's husband and works as a nurse. Erin receives the news from him that her attacker is still alive, but in critical condition, with low chances of survival. So Erin decides to enter the ICU room to see that man. As soon as the man sees her, he becomes hysterical and addresses her as Kate. When Erin clarifies that he's mistaken and she's not Kate, the man becomes even more agitated and he suffers a heart attack and passes away. The next day, Erin goes for a run and decides to visit Antonio's house to talk to his parents about what happened. Antonio mentions that his dad is away on a business trip and his mom is busy with a tennis lesson. However, Erin goes around to the back of the house, where she surprisingly sees Antonio's mom, Penelope, being intimate with her tennis coach. When she returns home, Erin finds her neighbor Emilio sleeping in his car. Emilio, who is a police detective and Jordy's best friend, is in the midst of a difficult divorce. He informs Erin that the police will be interviewing her about the supermarket incident the next day. Emilio has also reviewed the supermarket's CCTV footage and is impressed with how well Erin handled the situation. Later at school, Erin walks into the meeting room to discover her colleagues applauding her supermarket incident. Later, Olivia tells her that this incident could help her land that full-time position, but she also explains that Penelope wants Harper expelled for the violence against her son. Later that evening, Erin and her family attend Penelope's birthday party. Erin takes a moment to talk to Penelope, explaining that Harper feels regretful about what happened. Penelope then rudely claims that the other students need protection from Harper. Erin tries to assure her that Harper is not a threat to anyone and pleads with her to reconsider the complaint, but Penelope refuses her. Upon returning home, Erin notices that the lights are on, which worries her as she's certain she turned them off before leaving. Fortunately, everything in the house is safe and they simply go to bed. The following day, Erin faces her police interview. The officer is suspicious when he can't verify the reference Erin used to secure her job. He also starts suggesting that Erin intentionally killed the robber in the hospital and she shot him on purpose. Hearing this, she reacts strongly and angrily curses at the officer. However, she's surprised when she learns that there is no CCTV evidence available from the supermarket incident. Turns out Emilio hasn't submitted the video to his superior, and Erin has no idea why. On the way home, Erin becomes suspicious that a car is following her. She decides to abruptly change her route, but the other driver takes a left turn. Later, an upset Harper exits the vehicle, and Erin follows, holding her glasses. Harper says that she doesn't want to get expelled since she's just started fitting in. Erin reassures her and asks her to go inside while she talks to Penelope. After that, Erin pleads with Penelope not to have Harper expelled, but Penelope remains obstinate. Having no other option, Erin mentions that she has a video of Penelope being intimate with her tennis coach and will send it to her husband. Startled, Penelope agrees to resolve their issues as neighbors, but warns Erin that she has made a mistake. That evening, there's a school musical performance, and Erin is on teacher duty with Olivia. However, as the musical begins, Erin notices a figure sneaking out of the hall and decides to follow. It turns out to be the other masked person from the supermarket robbery, who is a woman named Margot. Margot refers to Erin as Kate and says that she's been robbing supermarkets because of something Erin did in the past. She believes Erin has something valuable and offers to leave her alone if she hands it over. However, Erin denies any knowledge about this, so Margot becomes aggressive and then pulls out a knife. A fight ensues, but Erin manages to defend herself and ultimately stabs Margot in the neck. Unexpectedly, Emilio witnesses the entire incident and becomes aware of Erin's actions. He offers to help her in disposing of the body, and they bury it, even though Erin keeps the connection between her and Margot a secret. Afterward, Emilio admits that he's helping Erin because he's in a tough situation himself and needs help. Erin reminds him that she's just a teacher, but he points out the problem of the dead body in the classroom. Later, at home, Erin becomes increasingly anxious about her family's safety. She then decides to search through her storage and finds a gun. Harper follows her and becomes alarmed when she sees her mother holding the weapon. The following day, Erin arrives at school and is alarmed to find the classroom where she confronted Margot sealed off. However, Olivia reminds her about the important job interview for a full-time job tomorrow. Erin then says she badly wants this job because it would provide Harper with a full scholarship, which is the only way they can afford to keep her in the school. That evening, Erin throws a party at her house, inviting a few friends and neighbors. Suddenly, Harper notices a masked deer figure in the distance and freaks out. Inside the house, Amelia approaches Erin and says that he'll need her help with the problem he mentioned earlier. He believes she can handle it because he saw her fighting. Suddenly, a loud noise startles them, so Erin rushes to check. She finds Harper rearranging furniture to block the windows so that no one can break in. She asks Harper if it's because of the supermarket incident, and Harper responds yes. Erin then comforts her, assuring her that they are in a secure place and that the gun Harper saw the previous night was fake. The following day at school, one of Erin's students, Dylan, draws inappropriate pictures on his test. So Erin asks Olivia to arrange a meeting with Dylan's parents to discuss the matter. However, this day is also the day of her important job interview. Amidst her busy schedule, Emilio informs her that he needs to meet her at 12 for a specific operation, so she rushes to meet him. On the way, Emilio reveals that there's a lawyer named Augustin with connections to various criminal organizations. He explains that he requires Erin's help to break into Augustin's house and install spyware on his office computer to retrieve crucial information. When they arrive at their destination, Emilio tells Erin to enter the building and get access to the office. Erin makes it clear that this is their final favor for each other. Sneaking into the house, she reaches Augustin's office and successfully installs the sniffer on his computer. However, while waiting for the data transfer, Emilio calls her, saying that Augustin has returned home unexpectedly. Despite this, Erin continues waiting for the data to transfer. While trying to leave, she gets caught by one of the housemaids, and Augustin confronts her with a gun. However, she fights with him and manages to escape by jumping into the sea. Later, Erin manages to get out of the water, but she realizes she has an interview to attend. In a hurry, she purchases a t-shirt from a beach vendor and rushes back to school. Upon her return, Erin discovers that Penelope is also a member of the Parent-Teacher Association. During her interview, she does her best to persuade the panel why she deserves to be a full-time teacher. However, the interview panel raises a concern about the night of the school musical when she left without informing anyone, leading to a staffing shortage. Erin explains that it was an emergency and assures them that it won't happen again in the future. When Erin gets home, Emilio is relieved to see her safe and thanks her discreetly in front of Harper and Jordy. Harper then has another incident in which she sees a masked deer and appears terrified. So Jordy believes she requires professional help, but Erin is strongly opposed to it. The next day, Erin discovers that she did not pass the interview. She then begins cursing Penelope when a parent named Daniel arrives to see her. Daniel is Dylan's father, who had submitted the test paper with the inappropriate drawings on it. Daniel is initially scared that Erin might expel his son, but to his disbelief, Erin is sympathetic and sees Dylan's actions as a cry for help. He then thanks her and explains that as a school sponsor, he can put in a good word for her promotion. Later on the way home, Erin notices that Emilio's door is wide open and there's no sign of him. She realizes that he has been abducted and decides to help him. She then contacts Olivia and asks her to look after Harper for the time being. After this, she uses a tracking app to locate Emilio, which leads her to a sketchy neighborhood. She successfully infiltrates a house where she finds Augustin torturing Emilio and interrogating him about the intruder in his home. Erin immediately fights with all of them and also uses a taser to fend them off. Eventually, she manages to rescue Emilio, and the two of them make their escape from the building. Later in the car, Emilio admits that he got involved with Augustin because he owed money from gambling. Augustin stated they'd be even if he gave him some inside information, but he was always greedy for more. As a result, Emilio had to shut him down. On the way, they make a stop, and Erin goes to get some supplies from a pharmacy to help Emilio. While she's inside, Augustin unexpectedly appears and takes a photo of her. Erin tries to convince him that she's no one and is just helping Emilio, but he doesn't believe her. She pleads with him not to share the photo, but he refuses, and seconds later, he gets run over by Emilio. Erin then takes Augustin's broken phone to ensure that the photo isn't accidentally shared. Emilio claims he was trying to help, but Erin says that his actions have only worsened the situation. In the next scene, a woman and her dog discover Margot's body while out on a morning run. Luckily, Emilio is one of the police officers assigned to investigate it, so he calls Erin to inform her. He also tells her that Augustin did manage to share Erin's photo with one person, his assistant Valeria. Hearing this, Erin decides to find Valeria and leave Harper in the care of Penelope at the pool. She uses her phone's special app to quickly find Valeria's location. Later, Erin is on her way to see Valeria when she gets a phone call from Daniel, who invites her and Jordy to dinner to talk about Dylan. Erin then forcibly enters Valeria's apartment, where she is threatened with a knife. After a fierce fight, she grabs the knife from Valeria's grip and urges her to delete the photo. Just then, Augustin's boss's men arrive at the house to get Valeria, but Erin steps in to protect Valeria, using her briefcase in a way that accidentally spills out all of the money it contains. The two then manage to escape from the location in Erin's car. Later, Valeria reveals to Erin that she had stolen that money from the organized crime syndicate that Augustin was involved with. She informs Erin that she needs 12,000 euros to cover her losses, or she will send her photo to everyone she knows. Meanwhile, the dead body has been identified as Margot Muller, a wanted criminal in the UK. Back in England, a housemaid named Lena receives a call from someone informing her about Margot's death. Lena is desperate to learn the truth, so she uses an open laptop in the room to search for information on Margot's death. Soon after, the owner enters and grabs the laptop, threatening to call the cops on her. Lena then fights with her to return the laptop, causing the owner to bleed. Meanwhile, Emilio finds himself stopped at a red light when a motorcycle pulls up behind him. Suddenly, an attacker shatters his passenger side window and throws in a firework. Emilio quickly exits the vehicle as the motorcycle speeds away. He then listens to a voicemail from a man who threatens him to stop his investigation into criminal gangs. In the next scene, Erin and Jordy join Daniel for dinner, where he reveals that Dylan has been expelled from 3 different schools. Daniel says he wants to remove Dylan from the traditional school system and proposes that Erin become his private tutor. He even offers to pay her more than her current school salary. However, Erin declines this offer, saying she cannot leave her job to work for someone who may change their mind a few months later. Their talk is cut short when Olivia, who is with Harper at home, calls Erin. Turns out that Harper has seen the masked deer figure again and freaked out. Erin and Jordy rush back home and put a scared Harper to sleep. Olivia suggests that Erin take Harper to a professional, and Erin says she'll think about it. The next day, Erin pawns all of her jewels to pay off her debt to Valeria. Upon her return, she discovers that Jordy has already arranged for a psychologist to talk to Harper. Erin accuses him of going behind her back, leading to a heated argument that causes Harper to leave. Erin follows Harper and tries to understand what's bothering her. Harper blames Erin for making her messed up and asks why she doesn't have any baby photos. Erin then confesses that when Harper was a baby, she was a bad mother, so she left her with an aunt, which is why there are no baby photos of her. Erin then asks what she can do to help, and Harper requests her to play in her parents' tennis competition this afternoon. During the tennis tournament, Erin and Jordy find themselves facing off against Penelope and her husband. Erin and Jordy initially struggle, but after Jordy offers some encouragement, they start to perform better. However, when Erin notices how poorly Penelope's husband treats her, she intentionally loses the match. Following their match, Erin hastily makes an excuse about having a spa appointment and leaves the tournament. However, Jordy becomes suspicious when he notices her having a stressful conversation with Valeria. Jordy recalls a long-ago conversation he had with Emilio. Before their marriage, Emilio had given him a file containing a background check of Erin, but Jordy hadn't opened it because he trusted Erin. He just asked Emilio if there was anything in there that suggested he shouldn't marry Erin. Emilio had replied no, but that he should keep the file anyway. Later, an armed Erin makes her way to the hotel to see Valeria. She then hands her 3,000 euros as payment before she deletes the photos. Erin then assures Valeria that she understands how she feels and that she is available if Valeria ever wants to talk. Unfortunately, Valeria reveals that because Erin was late, she informed Augustin's boss's people that she would be arriving. Erin then looks out the window and sees them approaching. She stuns two men as they enter the room, and the girls proceed to the hallway. They only manage to cover a brief distance before a man shoots Valeria in the back. A shootout ensues, which ends with Erin setting a fire and throwing her car into a blaze of flames, which kills most of the men. She then jumps over an overpass and lands on a cargo-loaded truck. However, when the truck swerves to avoid another vehicle, Erin is thrown into the underbrush. As she loses consciousness, Erin experiences a hallucination of the same masked deer figure that has been haunting Harper.